My God, it's full of stars.
All right, One-Eyed Jack's throwing the bone weapon, baby, throwing the bone. Today we're going to look at the Mockingbirds, and we're going to look at a bunch of movies that you wouldn't think had anything to do with alchemy or the flat Earth, or just movies you could consider were complete nonsense. And when you take the rose-colored glasses off and you look at them with a critical eye, you begin to realize that, wow, there's a lot more here going on than we were aware of. And before I start this, I want to set up the whole movie Dumb and Dumber and the Stanley Hotel. And I also want to set up the Kubrick. Kubrick leaves a Kubrick on the moon. So there's the man that makes the Kubrick. He leaves it on the moon. Here's a replica of one. Here's the first piece, the first, last, and only piece of art. It's a Kubrick, was left on the moon. There's the fallen astronaut card that's left right next to the Kubrick. There's the Kubrick on the moon, Apollo 15, the mission that launches on Stanley's birthday. And there's a Kubrick of Buzz Aldrin. That's what it is. It's a Kubrick. So the whole toy, part of the Toy Story thing is a carpet. The other part is the toys are Kubricks, just like the Kubrick we left on the moon. This one's very clever. If you look carefully, there's a dozen, egg carton, empty egg carton. So it's 12 eggs short of a dozen, and it's all garbage. So this is room 237. So we're going to use comedy.
Comedian. Well, they call me the Joker.
And here's
No way. That's great.
Peter Sellers' movie with the elephant in the room, The World is Flat.
Hi.
And it's the Mockingbirds we're going to be doing today.
Mock. Yeah. Yeah. Bird. Yeah.
So let's go back to the Stanley Hotel. This is the movie Dumb and Dumber. The scenes of it is filmed in that hotel. So they're twins, they're redheads, they invent the Stanley Steamer, they're on the top of, or they're in the Rocky Mountain National Park. There's, an explosion in the hotel, room 217 is haunted. Stephen King writes his book there. The book is inspired by the song We All Shine On. And the Stanley Hotel bar is famous for having 1,200 brands of whiskey. So if you like moonshots and Michael Collins and Jack Daniels and Jim Beam and all the various whiskeys that are contained in the puzzle, a great place to sample every one of those and many more would be the Stanley Hotel bar. And you can see these are pictures of the actual bar, by the way. So let's go back to the Mockingbirds. So these are all the birds in the puzzle. And we're jumping into different movies. And we're finding the same thing. And Suzanne Collins is an alchemist.
It's like a
Yeah, like a mockingbird.
Like a mockingjay.
your style.
We copy you down, Eagle. Houston,
So we have all of
Tranquility Base here.
Kubrick's
The Eagle has landed.
birds he's hidden in
Roger,
his
Tranquility. We copy you on the
puzzle.
ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
It's a radio. Ready, Harry?
mock.
Mock. Yeah. Yeah. Bird. Yeah. 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 Mocking.
I've compared Griffith's career to the Icarus myth. But at the same time, I've never been certain whether the moral of the Icarus story should only be, as is generally accepted, don't try to fly too high, or whether it might also be thought of as forget the wax and feathers and do a better job on
So
the
we got
wings.
Icarus and Dome Crater on Apollo 15, the mission that launches on his birthday, the day Diane Arbus dies. And, there's the map of Apollo 15. There's the Kubrick that's left on the moon on Apollo 15 and the card, the playing card.
Two spades, three of spades, four diamonds, six of clubs, eight of spades. Isn't one with a jack and a whole bunch? Hey, Captain, what's that? Yes, cards. What? Yes, cards. Let Charlie know who did this.
There's a Kubrick of a Firebird. So when you see a Kubrick of something, a handmade one of one Kubrick, it's a clue that there's stuff in that movie you need to look at. And part of it is the Firebird, the Phoenix. Here's some more mockery.
Man on that moon, and men spinning around.
This is 1971. He's making this movie, and he's already hiding stuff in Men in the Moon. And he's an alcoholic.
Hungry. Just some Tang. Ah, Tang, the drink the astronauts took to the moon.
So you got
Astronauts
Tang.
to the moon.
The astronauts. Oh, there's Tang again. And he's going to have a secret communication.
How'd you like some ice cream now?
So this is the Stanley Hotel. Stanley Hotel's Avalanche Bar. So we have a snowball that's rolling downhill. ASP in. Apollo Simulation Project in. All right. You're going to have to struggle through my singing because if you believe we put a man on the moon. So this is the song. And he says, if you believe there's nothing up his sleeve, nothing is cool. We see the bunny hop video. I love the bunny hop in the background. Newton got beaned by the apple good. Apple goods. Apple's a tree as well. Yeah. So you got Newton and the Egypt gravity was lie. Troubled by the horrible asp, and we see the horrible asp snake. The Apollo Simulation Project. Egypt was troubled by the horrible asp. We see the asp again. So we're asping. The Apollo Simulation Project. I had to take the music out. They flagged it, so. So that's Aspen. And they make a note of showing you the sign. So there's the asp snake, the Apollo Simulation Project.
Oh, good, I promise.
So now, one of the things Kubrick does is he uses holidays. So Lloyd says you can have a seat at the head table. He's talking about he wants to marry Mary Swanson.
Name's Christmas. Lloyd Christmas.
I'm Mary Swanson.
So if Lloyd Christmas marries Mary Swanson, she becomes Merry Christmas. I mean,
Merry Christmas. Mrs. Merry Christmas. Kind of catchy out here. Yeah, that sounds nice, Lloyd, but, don't you think you might be jumping the gun a little bit? I mean, Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
So here we have the biblical threads. You know, it's Lloyd Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Today is Christmas.
So there's your magic
There will
clue.
be a magic show at
Always a magic thread.
09:30. Chaplain Charlie will tell you about how the free world will.
So we're going to mirror
communism.
Chaplain Charlie to Charlie Chaplin, a comedian.
Out Caesar, out Nolus, Emperor of the world.
One of the pioneers of ball busting right here. This is before anyone knew, and he knew.
Private Joker, do you
More
believe in the
biblical
Virgin Mary?
clues.
Sir, no, sir!
Well, Private Joker, I don't believe I heard you correctly.
Sir, the private said no, sir, sir!
Why, you little maggot, you make me want to vomit. You goddamn communist heathen, you had best sound off that you love the Virgin Mary, or I'm gonna stomp your guts out. Now, you do love the Virgin Mary, don't you?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. This is Merry Christmas.
Here's Apollo 8 reading Genesis on Christmas Eve in 1968. So you have Eve again.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And God said, "Let
The firmament amidst the waters.
Let it divide the waters from the waters."
So here we have a different movie
You know who you fucking with? You know who you
with
fucking
connections into this movie.
with? Ah, back the fuck up.
And we
Back
have
up. You know who you fucking with in cell number 4 on the 9th floor.
Billy Ray Valentine, another holiday. Isn't that amazing? And of course we have Jamie Lee Curtis in the See You Next Wednesday poster behind her in her birthday suit. So there's the Michael Collins whiskey, Michael Collins the astronaut, the Collins fire axe because the Apollo 1 crew burns up.
I want to watch this. I'll have a good picture there. I've got, beautiful picture, Dave. Well, in my left hand, I have a feather.
So we're back to the
In
birds.
my right hand, a hammer. And I guess one of the reasons we got here today was because of
And
the
the
gentleman
gravity
named
line.
Galileo a long time ago, who made a rather significant discovery about falling objects in gravity fields.
Newton gravity line. Gravity line.
The reasons we got here today was because of a
No,
gentleman
it was
named
more
Galileo
Newton than it
a long
was
time ago,
Galileo.
who made a rather significant discovery about falling objects in gravity fields. And we thought that where would be a better place to confirm his findings than on the moon. And so we thought we'd try it here for you. The feather happens to be appropriately a falcon feather for our falcon. And I'll drop the two of them here, and hopefully they'll hit the ground at the same time.
James Irwin was also a falconer. He had his own pet falcon.
Galileo was correct in his findings.
So he was a falconer that was on the mission itself, and they flew in the Falcon, and he has a falcon feather as a true falcon.
Superb. Pointing the scissors so stiff I can't do it with two hands, but I'm going to try it on
So here's some swingers clues. There's a slice. They're all swingers. They're on cables. They're jumping up and down on wire supports.
Now, right here is our
The door
walk-in
swing is
freezer.
mirrored instantly.
Now this is where we keep all of our
It
meats.
opens
Now, right here
right to
is our
left, and they
walk-in
go inside, and
freezer.
it opens left to right.
Now,
It's
this
two
is where
different
we keep
doors.
all of our meat. Now, right here.
Right to
is our
left,
walk-in
left to
freezer.
right.
Now this is where we keep
So the swing
all
direction
of
is
our
mirrored.
meat.
So we have this right and left being repeated that we're sewing.
Sir, I don't know, sir. You are dumb, Private Paul, but do you expect me to believe that you don't know left from right? Sir, no, sir. Then
So
you
this is
did
boot
that on
camp
purpose. You want to be
we're in.
different. Sir, no, sir.
So we know this is a clue.
What side was that, Private Pile? Sir, left side, sir. Are you sure, Private Pile? Sir, yes, sir. What side was that, Private Pyle?
Sir, right side, sir!
Don't fuck with
Right
me
side,
again,
sir.
Pyle. Pick up your
Don't
fucking
fuck
weapon.
with me again, Pyle. He throws the bone, and the swing rotation direction becomes mirrored. So they're
Well,
swingers.
anyway, he looks like a doc, doesn't he?
Yeah. What's up, Doc?
So here we have the Looney Tunes crazy, you shine
Well,
on you
anyway,
crazy
looks like a
diamond,
doc,
weird
doesn't it?
crater, suffer a complete mental breakdown.
What's up, Doc?
US Real is the one that was referred to in Apollo 10 as Sidewinder.
There's the Sidewinder snakes again.
Good name, too. Sidewinder Diamondback. Looks like a couple of snakes down there in the lake bed.
Take the road to Sidewinder Oak.
Like drill holes is what they look like. You do that in West Texas and you get a
Get the
rattlesnake.
snakes again. This is
Here you
mockery
get permanently shattered
of
soil.
the vector tongue of NASA and their logo.
Take the road to Sidewinder Oak.
And the NASA crawler, you know, the slowest vehicle. The Nazareth album with the Sidewinder on it, Snakes and Ladders, the game that Danny plays. There's this game, Snakes and Ladders. With the rattlesnake, the vector tongue logo. The venomous eugenics program.
Here, little yellow sister, is a magnificent specimen of pure Alabama black snake. But ain't too
The
goddamn
one-eyed
cuckoo.
Alabama black snake, poisonous. The Bushmaster, the Cold Horse, the M16, the barrel of moonshine. Trigger the horse.
Rattlesnake.
Woodstock. There's the needles of the asp. Sidewinders leave tracks. And the NASA Crawler, largest 4-track vehicle, also leaves tracks. There are no tracks on the moon, though. There's a Sidewinder missile. There's the Sidewinder road. All right.
Take the road to Sidewinder Oak.
So we got hitchhikers. And they're picking them up. Mock. Ing.
Stanley didn't change much. I mean, his acceptance
mockery.
speech about Icarus at the Directors Guild. I mean, nothing could be more perfect.
Even Nicholson thinks it's funny.
The myth
I mean,
of
it's
Icarus.
fucking- it's hilarious.
Flying too high for success. And
Flying high for success.
And people always took that as a moral tale about hubris. And he said, let's make better wings.
Let's make better wings. That's what we're talking about. So Icarus had his wax and feathers melted, and he
it's
fell
so
to the ground.
perfectly
He's fallen.
Forget the wax and feathers and do a better job on the wings.
That's one small step for man.
So this is the step, the hop, the leap, the jump, the strode, the run, the trek, the ride, this cruise, the jump, the hopper.
About a 3-footer.
Now we're in a different category, a 3-footer.
About a 3-footer.
You know why I like you, Harry?
This is a whole category of shit.
Yep. That's why I wanted to stay regular. 1/2 teaspoon for fast, effective relief.
About a 3-footer. I love the Turbo Lax. And he puts like the whole bottle in. Nice.
And then you will be in a world of shit. Because Marines are not allowed to die without
Now all these ones that listed here, the dog shit, the cat shit, the bird shit, it's not one. There's each one of those categories has numerous.
Anybody know
There's
who
numerous
Big
bears,
Hard
there's
Outlaw
numerous
was?
horses, there's numerous apes.
Private Snowball.
You know, Mickey Mouse shit. There's numerous references to Mickey
know how
Mouse
far away he
and
was?
Disney.
Sir, it was pretty far from that book.
And the snake shit, there's a whole category of snakes.
Sir, it was pretty far from that book
And,
suppository building, sir. Now we got
You know,
dried
Pile.
peaches,
His name is Pile.
dried apricots, dried raisins, and dried prunes. You know, Mrs. Torrance, you gotta keep regular if you want to be happy.
Yeah,
You know, Mrs. Torrance, you gotta keep regular if you want to be happy.
And you got flush out your headgear, new guy. This is a slaughter. So he gave him the Turbo Lax. So now we're going to the Minotaur allegory. This isn't like just done in pictures here. So you have Theseus and the magic thread. That's a magic thread again. Once again, I always have a magic part of it. You have half man, half bull. You have Jack is the Minotaur. Kubrick tells us this is in interviews. You have the various mazes and labyrinths he shows you. There's 4 different ones in the movie. Danny is Theseus. He's walking backwards in his own footprints, just like Theseus follows the magic thread. And of course, it's the magic thread with the one-eyed needle, which I've done in previous videos, solid eugenics.
I thought I saw a putty cat. I did.
So I thought I saw a putty tat. That's a reference to Tweety Bird and Looney Tunes. So we have a Looney Tunes connection in this movie. I did.
Mr. Halloran.
And the door, so the door direction swing is mirrored. It changes from the time he opens it to it closes it. It's not it's a deliberate continuity error.
Sometimes, like in the Bugs Bunny cartoons. But how did you know that?
So Danny's Doc. He shines that. So the puzzle is full of Looney Tunes characters. The Roadrunner show is heard twice. You see the blue Roadrunner in the parking lot. Danny is Doc. And it goes on and on and on and on. And some of them are very obvious, and some of them are subtle, but they're hidden in there. And they're all Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes, crazy. You're nutty. You're fruity. You're batty. You're Roy Batty from Blade Runner. You're Lee Harvey Oswald, the lone nut.
When was the Overlook built?
He had had some screws loose. He was missing some of his marbles.
Started in 1907. It's finished in 1909.
So we saw the blue Roadrunner there. Here we hear the loons. It says wolf. They're not wolf. It's not a wolf. They're loons. And of course, it's chapter 11 and 12. 11 is the first moon mission. 12 men land.
You, flock of seagulls. You know why we're here?
So we get the birds thread. We have the falcon in the background. You have the missile category. There's overlap between these categories. There's Sharon Tate, her first job she gets modeling on top of
on the plane at
missile.
Hadley.
Here, the Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility.
Roger,
So the falcon is on the plane.
The feather happens to be appropriately a falcon feather for our falcon.
A falcon feather for our falcon. The cuckoo bird who mimics the markings of a falcon. So Petey the bird, remember that. Petey the bird. The headless parakeet.
The Aspen Preservation Society is the world's foremost defender of 23.
See, the Aspen Preservation Society, APS. So all you have to do is flip P and S around and you have ASP again. My Van Gogh. So Van Gogh, he's crazy. He's a redhead. He has a gag gift ear. Like he had the ball gags. You have the mimicking of the movie Clockwork Orange of a painting by Van Gogh called Prisoners Exercising. So we're all under the dome. We're all prisoners walking in a circle exercising is the allegory. So this is the moon rock we gave to Holland in 1969 that turned out to be petrified wood. Notice the Jack in the Box, the 2 Jack in the Box on the thing. So you have Jack in the Box restaurant. And now we're in a completely different movie.
Ow! Scheisse. Well, congratulations.
And we have the polar opposites. We have Dr. Evil. His polar opposite is Austin Powers.
Get it out! It's dark!
It's Jack in the Box where?
And in reality, it's the same person.
I'm okay.
So he's a Jack in the
Release
Box.
the meteor!
Release the meteor!
So now we're going to do some ball busting. So that's 2 different ball busting. You know, he did the Jack in the Box, and now he's doing the meteor to the balls.
You know, Dr. Evil,
I used to think you were crazy. I know. But now I can see you're nuts. I thank you.
You know, that movie. That's why he's blackballed now.
All right, hold on. Will I try and find my balls, for God's sakes? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm okay.
Looking for the
Just like the Bond movie where he had 3 nipples.
Got hamburgers. Cheeseburgers.
No. Where'd you get them? McDonald's, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, where? Jack in the Box, where? Jack in the Box, where?
Oh, I love that when it hits his head.
A few baseball cards, a sack of marbles.
Sack of marbles.
Sack of marbles.
Come and get one in the yarble.
Fuzzy blue yarble marble.
Have any yarbles? Your unit could jelly that.
Rock Moolah. Now, even in a time of so-called intergalactic emergency, the people still want to roll and move.
Mr. Land, I believe we ought
5
to...
more minutes, Quit. What I would like for you gentlemen to do is to view our brand new state-of-the-art show. It is out of sight. Gentlemen, there is no way that we can lose. Whoa!
You eunuch. So here we have Elon Musk. He jumped the shark, man, with that car thing. That was a joke. So here we have the snakes, and you know, it's the Sidewinder. When you look at the Apollo lunar tracks, it's like a Sidewinder. So Sidewinders in reality leave tracks, and we have the Sidewinder snake on the Nazareth album. We have Snakes and Ladders is the name of the album. We have the Sidewinder snake on the cover of it. It leaves tracks. Hair of the Dog is a Nazareth song. It's a Nazareth album. Now you're messing with the son of a bitch. So here we are in Dumb and Dumber, and it's Nazareth. Hair of the Dog. And he whips his balls right off.
Looking for these? Come and get one in the yarbos.
Come and get one in the yarbos.
Your unit could jelly that.
So we have, you know, Private Snowball. The snowball thing is being repeated because it's no ball. Here we have Jack bouncing the tennis ball off the Indian tapestry with a dome motif on it. The ball gags in Pulp Fiction. You know, you get the ball in Castaway, you know, Wilson Golf, you know, I wrote it on there. You get the July 4th ball.
But Lloyd, Billy has over 100 rare birds in there. So, they're not going to mess with a 30-pound alley cat.
So now, we're going to go on into a completely different area.
Guys?
So they put the cat in with this guy's birds, and it's killed all the birds. And the cat has eaten all the birds.
Speak to me, Cisco.
We went into a camp to inoculate some children.
You have Brando, One-Eye Jack.
We left the camp after we had inoculated the children for polio and hacked off every inoculated arm. There they were in a pile of little arms.
The horror. The horror.
So just because you're watching a comedy doesn't mean there can't be themes in it that aren't comedic.
I'm sorry, your name is? I'm his associate, Dr. Christmas. Ah, Christmas like the holiday. No, like the tree. Okay, may I ask you a question, Doctor? And I don't mean to be insensitive, but does Dr. Pinchlow have Asperger's? Probably. I know he doesn't wipe real well.
Dick. Here with the Flat Earth Clock in Back to the Future, another highly alchemical movie. We connect this movie to the CRM-114 on Marty's amplifier, and a dozen other ways, but that's the most obvious one. So there's the Flat Earth Clock, and it's a robotic, computer-controlled dog food opening dog feeder. So we have the birthday clue.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Frank. Happy birthday to you. See you next Wednesday.
So we have another breadcrumb. See you next Wednesday. So when we go to the Blues Brothers movie, and it's his birthday, of course, we see this poster in the Blues Brothers movie. So there's a connection right there. They're going to use the same language that Kubrick is. Here's the See You Next Wednesday poster, and Jamie Lee Curtis appears in her birthday suit in this movie. And her birthday is November 22nd, JFK's death date. So the CRM-114 is another breadcrumb. You know, it's Serum 114 Clockwork Orange. It's, you know, it's C Wing Room 114 in Eyes Wide Shut. There's Marty's amplifier, CRM-114. So we have a connection to Back to the Future. Oh, this one's funny. This is Commander Kelly.
Could it be that you're filming in an underwater pool and you're not really out there?
Oh, yes, tonight. Oh, right to his face. That is good. This is mockery at its best right here. They just cut his balls off.
No. Yes, my soda's flat. It doesn't have any bubbles.
So his soda's flat.
Happy now?
It's a little flat earth clue. So here we have the actual company that made the movie Dumb and Dumber, and it's red granite pictures. So you have the blue marble and the red granite and the jade rabbit and Crazy Diamond, Emerald City. And this is the, you know, Universal Pictures. This is the opening credits for this movie, Dumb and Dumber. You know, just replete with the globe imagery and the rotating globe, and you know, and it's still the Mercator projection. It's never changed.
It's a big one. International Preservation Society tomorrow night. Come on, Cinderella, we gotta get you ready for the ball.
So come on, Cinderella, we gotta get you ready for the ball. So we have another ball, and if you know Cinderella, she had her magic slippers. So here they're gonna have a snowball fight, and they made a snowman. So it's snowman, snowball, snow globe. And these are all, you know, part of the balls clues. All the planets are balls. The moon is a ball. Pluto's a ball. Mars is a ball. Neptune is a ball. Saturn is a ringed ball. So you have the snowball fight. The snowball fight in The Shining. You have the snowball fight in Dumb and Dumber. You have the snowball overdose in Pulp Fiction. You have the snowball overdose in Eyes Wide Shut. You have the snow globe in Citizen Kane, the fuzzy yarbles. You know, it goes on and on and on. These are all the balls that are hidden in this puzzle. And here we are in Dumb and Dumber, and they're having an obvious snowball fight.
Sir, Private Brown, sir! Bullshit. From now on, you're Private Snowball. Do you like that name? Sir, yes, sir! Well, there's one thing that you won't like, Private Snowball.
You know, so you have the magic 8-ball Dorian Harewood. You know, he's a half bunny, half wood.
I know you got.
So here's Wendy and Danny having the snowball fight in The Shining. I love the fact it's snowing and it's snowing. It's a double snow. It's a snow job. Kubrick was moonlighting you know, and it was a snow job.
The guy told me to get off at the next exit. They're picking the lottery balls. Here's today's mega lottery.
So they're picking the lottery balls.
The first number is 44. The next is 2, 38, 24, 21, and 54. Stripes! I was so close. I had all the right numbers.
So here we are in the Stanley Hotel. Once again, a direct correlation to Stephen King's book and Kubrick's movie. You know, we landed on the moon. You know, Wendy Reed's Catcher in the Rye. It's published July 16th, the date of the Apollo 11 launch.
That's embalming fluid. Oh. Does it have aspartame? No. Cool.
So there's a little aspartame clue for you. So the Barbara Hershey Highway is Route 322. You know, it's a connection to Skull and Bones and the Masons. So here we have a scientist that's supposedly an expert on like dark matter and astrophysics, and we have Dumb and Dumber, and they're going to ridicule this guy.
General relativistic needs. I got it! That was easy. Well, Dr. Pinchlow is certainly a fascinating character.
Of course he is. He's a genius.
Indeed, the Large Hadron Collider has already
The Large
shown us
Hadron Collider.
that dark matter is likely, especially when you eat prunes. Yes. that dark matter is likely the missing.
So all this crap they've told us about dark matter and galaxies and black holes and quasar, all that shit is all horseshit.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Holy crap!
So here we're mocking Stephen Hawking now.
Renowned astrophysicist, and many of us are interested in hearing his findings.
So Stephen Hawking has had ALS for 53 years, and he's still alive. That's an impossibility. He was replaced when the original Stephen Hawking died. He was replaced with a double, just like Paul and Fall.
Your antics are proving to be disruptive.
Thank you, Dr. Dilbeck, but Dr. Pinchlow is right. My dark matter data was insufficient.
What the fuck?
So the guy admits he's a fraud.
My methods were...
That's pretty good.
No way.
No way.
That's great.
That's great. And they have I think it's a Lamborghini, and they have the symbol of the bull on the car. So here we are, and the Coneheads. And he has a little firework. And the mockery here is, once you know the true Apollo story, basically what you really got out of all that money that you gave them was a real fancy fireworks show. You got to watch the rocket launch, and then the rest of it was done in a Hollywood movie studio.
I've had a full life. I was a paper boy for a week. I fathered a child. I've seen every episode of Full House. Whoa! 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 I've seen every episode of Full House. Whoa!
Have 2 spades, 3 of spades, 4 diamonds, 6 of clubs, 8 of spades. Isn't one worth a jack and a whole bunch? Isn't one worth a jack and a whole bunch? Hey, Captain, what's that? Yes,
What was that, man? What the hell was that, man? Huh? No, man, like, hey, man, wow, I was watching this object, man, like the satellite that we saw the other night, right? And, like, it was just going right across the sky, man, and then, I mean, it just suddenly, it just changed direction and went, whizzing right off, man. It flashed. You're stoned out of your mind, man. Oh, yeah, man, hey, like, I'm stoned, you know, man? But, like, you know, I saw a satellite, man, and it was going across the sky, and it flashed 3 times at me and zigzagged and whizzed off, man. And I saw it.
That was a UFO beaming back at you. Me and Eric Heisman was down in Mexico 2 weeks ago. We seen 40 of them flying in formation. They have got bases all over the world now, you know. They've been coming here ever since 1946, when the scientists first started bouncing radar beams off of the moon. And they have been living and working among us in vast quantities ever since. The government knows all about them.
What are you talking, man?
Well, you just seen one of them, didn't you?
Hey, man, I saw something, man, but I didn't see it working here. You know what I mean?
Well, they are people just like us from within our own solar system, except that their society is more highly evolved. I mean, they don't have no wars. They got no monetary system. They don't have any leaders because, I mean, each man is a leader. I mean, each man, because of their technology, they are able to feed, clothe, house, and transport themselves equally and with no effort.
Wow. Well, you know something, man? I think, you wanna know what I think? I think this is a crackpot idea. That's what I think. How about that? How about a little of that? Think it's a crackpot idea. I mean, if they're so smart, why don't they just reveal themselves to us, huh, and get it over with?
Why don't they reveal themselves to us is because if they did, it would cause a general panic. Now, I mean, we still have leaders upon whom we rely for the release of this information. These leaders have decided to repress this information because of the tremendous shock that it would cause to our antiquated systems. Now, the result of this has been that the Venusians have contacted people at all walks of life. All walks of life? Yes. It would be a devastating blow to our antiquated systems. So now the Venusians are meeting with people in all walks of life in an advisory capacity. For once, man will have a godlike control over his own destiny. He will have a chance to transcend and to evolve with some equality for all.
How's your joint, George?
Oh my! I believe it went out. I got to talking so much I clean forgot about. Went out.
Well, save it.
I love this one. This is how I'm going to end the video, by the way. I don't own this footage, but it is so clever. You know, we have 5 shuttles simultaneously launching, and it looks very real. I mean, you know, the fakery technology is just... I love the little kids are playing around the blast area. And as the cruise ships in the harbor as the 5 shuttles launch. That is fucking priceless right there. That is good. I mean, look at how real that looks. You know, if you didn't know, if you just landed on the planet yesterday, somebody showed this. Yeah, we launched 5 shuttles at the same time. This is the killer. The shuttle bay opens up, and they all have spacesuits on, and their cell phones, of course. And the one guy salutes. Oh, this is just so good. the mockery, you know, and you have Elon Musk and his fucking roadster, you know, you gotta laugh. And that's it, guys. Peace and love. Have a great night. And if you liked the video, or it made you laugh, or you learned something, subscribe. And that's it. Have a great night, guys. Bye.
Out Caesar, out Nolus, Emperor of the world.